Swaggy Vets, attention! Right, pace, forward!
You are now on the set of the Swaggy Vets show. We do it for the sisters, bros from coast to coast. A place where it's safe to go to make sure that a soldier's stories are told. All around the globe, going worldwide, representing military pride. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
You should already be at the position of a 10 for them boys when they come out, the original first Swaggy veteran. And then you got that boy Big Pen. Hey man, salute me or shoot me. And if you ain't no vet, you better not talk like one.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Swaggy Vets Podcast. I'm your host, Big Pen. I got my co-host here with me, Super Swaggy. What's up, my man?
What's going on, baby? We got another big one today.
All right, thanks for y'all tuning in. We got a really special guest today. Our guest is a former Green Beret, 18 Charlie Special Forces engineer who served in the Special Forces Group. After an injury led to his medical retirement, he transformed his mission, becoming an ambassador for the Green Beret Foundation and host of the lesser-known Operators Podcast. He's a committed advocate, storyteller, and leader in the veteran community. Please welcome Nicholas Allen.
I appreciate the warm welcome.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, man. So you are from Illinois.
Oh yeah, but don't tell anybody that I live up in Wisconsin and I'm from Illinois.
How was it growing up in Illinois?
The same as growing up in Wisconsin. It's just out in the farm fields, middle of nowhere, nothing, nowhere town. It's kind of boring. It's not very exciting, man. But unless you're from Chicago, which I've never met anybody that wasn't from Chicago. So
So you grew up on a farm?
yeah, man, out in nowhere, right on the border of Wisconsin and Illinois, small town.
Wow.
So
Cold winters.
it used to be. We don't, global warming or something. It don't winter like it did when I was a kid. So
Really?
whatever. Yeah,
When did you
people
guys
freak
see
out
that?
now.
Yeah. I'm from Florida, so I didn't grow up in the cold, but when I got out of the military, I worked in the oil fields in North Dakota, so that was some cold that I was not used to, man.
No, that's terrible. That's no place for anybody from Florida, even North Florida.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So you moved around a lot, right?
A little bit. Illinois, Oklahoma, North Carolina, Seattle area, and then lived in Korea for a bit.
Do you have a preference of any of those places? Well, I mean, you live in Wisconsin now, so maybe you kind of stuck to that, but other than that, did any one of those kind of warm your heart?
No, just Korea. Living in Illinois, I was just a small town. So when I was in Oklahoma's not my favorite place. And Lawton is really not my favorite place in Oklahoma. And then you move out to go to the Q course and you're in Fayetteville, North Carolina. That's not really the best place either. It's a lot. I don't know. I was just there and it seems like everything's a lot more expensive and a lot more built up. So I don't know if it's nicer now, but it's definitely more expensive out there. And
Yeah, my daughter lives there. I go there quite a bit, so it's definitely built up now. And yes,
Yeah.
it's definitely more expensive.
yeah, it is. Yeah,
How-
Southern Pines has really exploded. Go ahead.
Yeah, so my boy Supa, he used to be in Korea. How was that cold? Wisconsin and Korea cold. How is that different?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say we probably had different experiences in Korea because
I was in Tongducheon.
you were probably
I was
up
in
north.
TDC.
Or up north.
I was at Camp Casey. I was in 172nd Armor Regiment.
Yeah. See, I lived on a Korean Air Force base down in Daegu, and I had no supervision, and I got to do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. So it wasn't, we didn't have to hang out in the field for 30 days at a time.
Oh my God.
So it's different experiences. I had a blast in Korea, so I kind of lived out in the city as well.
I would say I had a blast. I had a blast too when we went in, like, if you ever heard of KTC, we used to be out there for like
Yeah.
I was in Korea for a year and a half. We used to go to KTC for like 56 days and just sit out there and just do random missions and all kinds of stuff. I came as a 19 Delta, so I went into recon immediately. And it went from, if you could do anything land nav as a scout, they was going to make you do something. As a platoon sergeant, leader or something, they going to make you do something, bro. And it was, yeah, you probably had a lot. You had way more freedom down, especially Air Force too. We used to go to Humphreys and stuff and go deal with some of them. Like, this is 05, 06.
Yeah, so I lived in some condemned Army barracks that were inside of an U.S. Air Force base that was inside of a Korean Air Force base that was inside of an international Air Force base. So, and then there was no U.S. military presence where we were at, so that there was no, as long as we didn't get caught, there was no curfew or anything, and kind of no rules. So, but as long as you didn't get caught, so I had a good time. But I was all over the country, man. Just it was not the regular Army experience. So experiences may vary. I had a blast there. I really did, though. I had a blast.
Well, going back to high school, did you play any sports?
I was a wrestler. Yeah.
You were a wrestler? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. That's the only sport you played was just wrestling?
God, that's the only one that comes to mind. I think I was in track. Yeah, I threw discus one year. I wasn't really into it. I wasn't really into wrestling. I was very good at it, and I could have been great, but I just didn't apply myself. So I tell people that all of the motivation and dedication that I had came when I put my uniform on. So if I would have had that in high school, I would have gone farther as a wrestler and probably gone on to college and wrestled, but it all came later when I went to the service.
A good time in Korea, I did too, man. Korea, I used to go to Seoul a lot. I used to go down there to, I've been to Daegu probably like once or twice. But Korea was definitely 2ID was dope. But like they used to train us if North Korea would come attack us, we would do training for that for 30, 40 days. Like what made you inspired to join the service, man? What made you want to raise that right hand and pledge allegiance?
God, I started bartending when I was 20, and we got to the point where everybody that worked at the bar also lived together. And that was a pretty destructive cycle of life. So, and then the rules at the bar were if somebody bought you a shot, you had to drink that shot type of bar. So you were getting absolutely annihilated every single night that you worked. And that went on for a couple of years. And I put a stop to that. And I had thought about joining right out of high school. And it just didn't happen. So I got into construction. I started building houses, and then the world economy collapsed in 2008. So then we stopped doing that. 2009, 2010, started bartending. Then had enough of that by the end of 2010. And I said, well, maybe it's time to pull at that string one more time. So I walked into the Marine recruiter's office, and they said, I said, can I be a Marine? And they said, no, you got tattoos that don't fit the tattoo policy. So I walked out the door, walked 1 foot over to the Army recruiter's office and said, what do you got? And I signed up there and went through the process and took, what did I do? I was going to be something. I don't know if it was a 18 X-ray or not, but no, it wasn't. I was going to do something, but I failed. It didn't matter because I failed the colorblind test at MEPS, so I had to take whatever they would give me. So I signed up as a field artilleryman, 13 Papa, and that started my journey. But yeah, that was the catalyst, I guess. I just didn't want to be in the cycle of a dead end job and then working in the bars and living that life anymore. So, and it turned out it was the correct decision for me. It was exactly where I needed to be, but took me a little bit to get there.
Bingo. But that ain't bad, man. That's real. I salute you for that, for joining in the first place. So much respect for that, man. But like what when you said 13 Papa, you came in 13 Papa.
Yeah,
like
multiple. Multiple launch rocket systems, fire direction system specialist.
That's a long ass title.
It's
That,
Yeah.
fun.
that's a long time. So you came at 13, Papa. Like, what made you do like volunteer for the SF though? Like, what made you get into that?
Oh, because when I got to basic training, I was quite disappointed with the level of Army. I thought there would be hard. First, I thought it would be harder. I thought it would be more disciplined, more professional, and it wasn't. So my drill sergeant said, "Hey, man, when you get to your unit, just go to selection, and that's probably what you're looking for." And I got to my unit after I graduated basic and AIT, and I went to the field when I got to my unit, and 7 days after that, when I got back, I went to the Special Forces brief and signed my waiver, and then went to selection 90 days after I got to my unit. So I was just disappointed with I had this vision of my head of what the Army would be, and it just wasn't it. So I did everything I could to get out of there as fast as I could.
I think I felt like that my first duty station. Like basic training I was in basic training at 05 and at Fort Knox, and it was just nothing but scouts and tankers. So I guess it was a little different. But like I got bored like my first duty station because it was like we was free. We was drinking every weekend. We didn't have like really too much supervision. Like we got away that other units probably couldn't get away with a lot of this stuff. So I can understand that feeling, man. Like can you put us in like the mind frame, like describe the process of becoming, special forces, like the top tier, man. Like take us do some training, man.
So I went to for the whole pipeline, right, is you need to volunteer to go to selection. So you go on your post and you attend a Special Forces recruiting brief, and they show you a fancy video of what you'll be doing. At that time, we're deep in the global war on terror, so that video is probably heavy on that. I don't even remember the video. I just wanted to get out of where I was because I knew I was going to accomplish things. I just wanted to get to it. So I was quite motivated at the time. So I signed my little paper. I gave them a PT test, and then I got orders to selection in January of 2012. I went. So the train up was going well until Thanksgiving of 2011. I got a rare sickness, and the Army didn't really know how to treat it. So they tried, instead of trying to cure me, they went the other direction. They tried to kill me, and that put a damper on my training. So for a month, I was deathly ill for pretty much all of November, and then finally got better at the end of November after Thanksgiving. And then I guess that was a little lag in my training. So when I got to selection in January, I was doing well. I just I twisted my knee, and I walked it until I couldn't bend my knee anymore. So I got medically dropped halfway through. So selection is, there's gate week, there's land navigation week, and then there's team week. So I got dropped during land nav. I just couldn't bend my knee anymore. But it turned out to be the best thing that happened to me because I came back to my unit. I trained up. I knew exactly what to expect. And when I went back there in September, I went straight through and passed. I left no doubt when I went back. So it was turned out to be a blessing for me. But selection's 3 weeks. I think it's a little bit longer now. They've added a couple things, but you're tested on your, physical fitness, and then your ability to land nav in the day and in the night. And then team week is some pretty tough physical tests to see how you work as a team under pressure, leading, following, problem solving, things like that. And, they've stressed you out to evoke certain traits from your personality, because when you're either downrange or in training or trying to work yourself out of a bad situation, they just want you to be able to perform a certain way. So you're being assessed on your ability to pass the qualification course, which comes later. So I got selected in September of 2012, and then I PCS'd from Fort Sill, Oklahoma to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and started in the summer of 2013 and went straight through that and graduated in October of 2014 as an 18 Charlie. Yeah. So there's a little more to it than that. There's a lot more pain, but if you got a specific question about a specific area, I could probably lean more into it.
What language do they give you?
Oh, very useful. Thai. I used to speak Thai fluently, and now I do not anymore. So,
What'd you score on your D Lab to get Thai?
that's the test, right? The Defense Language Aptitude Battery. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just had this debate with somebody the other day of when they gave us the D Lab. I'm fairly certain it was at selection, and I remember not knowing what was going on the entire test. I don't think I got a single question right. I didn't even have a feeling about how to answer any of the questions at all the entire time. So I must have gotten some right based on however that test is run to get Thai, but they didn't tell us. They just gave us our language assignments. I feel like I did terribly, but a lot of people say that.
Yeah, because they'll ask you, find the verb in this. Nkapmra. I'm like, what?
Yeah. I don't know. I was extreme. I think it was after selection. I was extremely tired, and I can't say I got any of those questions right, but apparently I got a few right.
Some people, they do the D Lab and they do all the, what are they called? To like the school questions where you do the math and all that before selection, then they don't have to do it in selection. So you're not sitting there doing it tired.
Yeah.
The D Lab sucks, dude. I hated that thing.
Yeah, that's all right. It worked out. I mean, it doesn't matter what they gave us. Language is the hardest part about language in the qualification course is not getting in trouble. That's the hardest part about it. It's not the language itself. It's the sitting still and paying attention, and the rest of it. Everybody can figure out how to speak another language. They just got to apply themselves.
How long was the Thai language? Like 6 months?
They're all 6 months. They only give you 6 months. No matter how hard or how easy the language is, it's 6 months.
Even like Chinese, Arabic and stuff?
Oh yeah. They what did the one Mandarin teacher said 6 months. 6 months isn't even enough time to get you to basic. So they came out of there. Most of the Mandarin speakers, unless they were extremely, extremely smart, came out of there with knowing just enough to pass the test.
Yeah, the written and man, I couldn't even imagine, dude. Holy crap.
Yeah.
If you could choose your language, what one would you would have chose?
Oh, now? Oh God. Probably Russian. Yeah. Or
that's a tough one.
Yeah, more useful.
Damn.
I have never spoken Thai. I never spoke Thai once I got to group ever. Wow. And I never used it. I just use it to order food now occasionally when I go to the restaurant.
Freak people out. Yeah. Like going back to Korea, we both had that experience. Like living over there, man, how did it impact your view about other bases? Like when you got there?
Other bases? I mean, these were some pretty ratty bases, the ratty conditions I lived in. But, the Air Force had some nice digs, but right across the parking lot from us. But man, I didn't care. I didn't care what they had us up in. The Army, I tell people the Army, there was nothing that the Army could do to put me off being in the Army other than hurt me and put me out. I would go to different bases and some were nice, some were terrible. I didn't care. I liked all of them. I liked going everywhere. I liked doing everything. I knew where I wanted to be when I got in the military, and then I got there and I liked it there, and it just was a short trip for me. That's the only unfortunate thing about it. So, but
yeah,
some bases are different, man. Bases are, unfortunately, some of the water will kill you. That's the only thing. You gotta watch out for that. Unfortunately, some of the water is toxic wherever you go, but they don't tell you that until later.
Yeah. I didn't plan on getting out to say if I wouldn't have got medically retired as well, man, I would I would have been Sergeant Major right now, bro. Like I felt hurt because it was like y'all think I'm hurt, but I can still do the same thing, man. Y'all ain't got to like just let me stay in some kind of form of faction, bro. Like I never wanted to get out of the service at all.
Yeah, I say that a lot. The policy at the time was deploy or get out, and so I went on permanent profile because I couldn't jump anymore because I couldn't go to Afghanistan, and so I went on permanent profile, and that triggered the medical retirement. So I could have very easily been used in other places, but
that good old P3. Once they put you on that P3, man, it's a wrap, bro.
Yeah, so
Q course.
I could have done a lot of things, but I'm doing everything that I could have done then. I'm just at a higher level now. So I have my reach is 10 times farther than it would have been had I stayed in.
So what kind of cool stuff you get to do? So you didn't spend much time in the conventional army, yeah?
Man, this is no exaggeration. I didn't get to do jack shit when I got my Green Beret. So, this long process, right? I spent 4 years, pretty much 4 years trying to graduate, get my Green Beret. And almost all of the work that was behind me when I graduated. The coolest school I got to go to after I graduated was Master Driver. I got the certificate like right over there as a as an anti-flex. So I try to tell people like just be proud of what you did get to do because it might be over sooner than you think. And so I'm okay with it now. I get to do a lot of cool stuff now, but I didn't get to do too much when I was in. I mean, I would assist training and I would help guys, and because I'm still a qualified Green Beret, but I was just more in a support role. So I got to group. I went to a dive team and I got hurt 90 days after I got to my team, and then I went into a support role for the rest of my time. I did some really cool things. I did some stuff that I never would have gotten to do in the regular army. But it just it was a short trip, and that's okay. I'm a much better Green Beret now than I was when I was in uniform.
Okay. What man, that's cool. You got to do master driver because I was an 88 Mike and I was a master driver. I actually went to Africa and we taught the African Army how to drive.
I wouldn't say I was the best one. I only I only went to it so that I could make people licenses.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Talk about how'd you get hurt, man?
So you go through the qualification course, right? And you get there's a ceremony. You get handed your beret, and everybody's proud of you. And then they give you your orders. And for us, we graduated October 23rd, 2014. So that fell right up against block leave. So they kept us around for a little bit, and then our orders were okay. You have to sign into group January 5th or something like that, right? So we did a couple details and then got lined up and PCS to Fort Lewis from Fayetteville, right? So check into Fort Lewis, get signed in, and I sit down with Sergeant Major Karan, and I sat down with him. I don't remember anything from the conversation except, can you swim? And I said, no. And he said, great, you're going to the dive team. And so in a special forces company, there's 6 teams, six teams that make up a special forces company. It's 5 right now because we've reduced the size of the force a little bit. So there's 5 teams, but when I was in, it was 6. Sue, last door on the left down the hallway was 1335, this is my team here. This is the only ODA I was on, the dive team. And so I go down, get introduced to my team sergeant, and I don't really remember too much. Now, the reason for that is I had a bunch of concussions, and that was what led to those were my injuries. So I was on the team for 90 days. The first training exercise that we did was this picture here in Astoria, Oregon. And we were just south of the Columbia River. And we were out in some pretty rough waters. We were supposed to be out in 3 to 5 foot waves. We were out in 12 to 15 foot waves. And so I got hit in the head on the front of the Zodiac, and then about half an hour or so later, I got hit with the engine in the head, and then after a couple hours, we made it to shore. This is like the abbreviated version. I tell it so much that I'm starting to get to the point where I don't know. I want to get somebody to reaffirm this story, so I have to check in with buddies of mine that were there to reaffirm that this actually happened, because it sounds so ridiculous. But yeah, so I got hit with the boat. So we launched up the wave. I flew up in the air. I came back down in the boat on my face. Bounced out unconscious into the water. The guys pulled me back in. We started to go into shore. A wave catches us and flips the whole boat over. And so we swim back to the boat, and then we right the boat, and then the engine had come off. So I put the engine back on the transom, but a wave washes the engine into my face. After quite a while of rolling, we just got to the point where we were so exhausted we couldn't flip the boats over anymore. So we just rolled all the way to shore for a couple hours. For whatever reason, the team sergeant didn't want to send me home, because if he sent me home, there would be an investigation and we would have to stop training. So I was kept around. And then the next day, I didn't have any spatial awareness. So I grabbed the handle on the TMP and I pulled the door frame into my head, into my face. And then as I let go, because it hurt, I fell and smacked my head on the concrete. And so I would have recovered from the first 2 concussions, but the third one I'll never recover from. So that was the one that did it. All the symptoms from all my concussions, all my life came back. And some of them haven't gone away, but I do pretty okay for the most part now. So I tell people that it's okay. I get a check on the 1st of every month, and I'm afraid of the ocean. But other than that, everything's good.
Yeah, man. In 2012, we were in Afghanistan, and we stopped for historical ID site. I was a lead gun truck, and my truck hit a 500-pound IED, and I had this really bad TBI concussion, man. So it's crazy just trying to recover from that, being disoriented, and I got to write everything down to this day, man. So I definitely feel your pain, man. It definitely sucks. So
it does. I sympathize greatly with people that have had severe TBIs, because you start to doubt what you're even telling yourself. Like, you're hurt, you're fucked up, but nobody else can see it. So you start talking yourself into this corner of like, I'm okay, right? Nobody can see that I'm fucked up, even though honestly that you're fucked up. So I'm pretty open with what I tell people, and I was like, it's okay. I don't seclude any, like, there's people in field artillery that have only shot 155 rounds in training that are way more fucked up than I will ever be, right? Like, and I got fucked up in training. There's people who got blown up in combat. So just because somebody saw or didn't see combat or didn't do these things doesn't mean they're fucked up. Doesn't mean they're not fucked up. So I sympathize greatly with anybody that's got TBIs, because also you're telling yourself incorrect things because you're concussed, and so you don't want to get help because you don't want to let your buddies down. So then you're making really bad decisions, and then you go to the shop and get a bottle of booze because you feel bad. So it's an epidemic for sure.
So, boom, you get that. So what happened after that? Did you started going to get seen and ultimately led to medical discharge?
So the good thing, if you want to call it that. So I'm still a Green Beret. I'm still in a Special Forces company. I'm not in the regular Army. If I was in the regular Army, I would have been pretty much chaptered immediately. So I went home for like 45 days, man. I didn't come back. Nobody even, like, the commander would check on me to make sure I was like alive still, but I really couldn't function for like a month and a half. And when I went to the TBI clinic on my first appointment back, they said, you're going to have to get medically retired. And so I just kind of disappeared into the company. And that's something you can do in SF. You can't really do that in a conventional unit. So I just went back and I said, I'm not going back there. So I kind of stopped going to my appointments, and that was okay because of the position that I was in. So I started working back at the company and kind of taking any tasking that would come out. I would go anywhere and hide out anywhere. I went to NTC a couple times. I went to California to see some shipments off. I would just go do anything. I would just go anywhere. And then we went to Korea the next January. So that happened in April. I healed up for, I went back to work 2 months later. But a lot of this I don't remember, but I know I was just trying to stay in the Army and stay under everybody's radar. And I did that for a couple of years. So we went to Korea January to June of 2016. I came back for a few months and then went right back to Korea for 8 months. But that was the good thing about the position I was in, is I could hide out. I could hide out until I couldn't. Until I ran out of places to hide. So, yeah.
So after that, how did the med board process start?
I got into a staff position. So I took a staff position at battalion, and we came down on orders for Afghanistan, and I couldn't deploy, and I had nowhere to go because I couldn't go back to a team. I was just limited on my options. And I also didn't know what I know now. If I had all the information about how stuff works, kind of, at that level. So I know so much now about how Special Forces and how the company structure, battalions, group structure, and everything works. But then I was still a very new guy. I'd been in the Army for 8 years, but I still didn't know what I was doing, especially at that level. So I maybe made a couple wrong decisions, and then when you do that, and once the med board starts, it's over. You're done.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
Because the problem was everything was documented. And you say that, you tell your soldiers, you're like, get everything documented. In my case, because everything was documented, it was open and shut. You're out, done. There was no switching jobs or anything. I wasn't staying in at all. So that's it. But yeah.
Did you have something that helped you get through that transition?
Oh no, I took it very poorly. I took it very poorly. Alcohol? Yeah, no. And then I took a job back here in the Midwest. I handled my transition very poorly, I would say, for probably 6 years, 5 years, 6 years. Yeah. 2024, I stopped drinking.
You felt like it just threw you to the wind. I get it.
I did. I didn't. And then my unit left. They went to Afghanistan. My guys weren't even there when I got out. There was nobody to see me off or anything like that. So and then I moved away from all of my friends to Wisconsin, and kind of inadvertently segregated myself from the only place I wanted to be. So I did not do a good job transitioning out of the military. And a lot of that's my fault, but I didn't know any better.
If all of us do that, man, the first week I got out, I think I drank probably about a good 5 gallons of gin, man. That was it for me. After a while, I ended up going to alcohol, drug reprogram, man. I had to, because for a while, I couldn't get up without taking a shot. My body wouldn't wake up unless I took a shot of some Patron or some Seagram's gin, man. Yeah,
that's rough.
It was a rough one. So I ended up, I stopped and then went to other stuff, and now I'm off of that as well. So that's something else, man. I always, doing these interviews, I get my salutes and my heart pats, man. That's a big feat, man. Alcoholism kills a lot of people, man. And it's good always to see a battle buddy, man, to get off of that and do good, man. So I'm proud. I'm proud of you if that means something, my brother. Even you met your wife in South Korea. I don't want to. How do you say her name? I don't want to butcher it, man.
Oh, Tyler. Her name's Tyler.
Okay, Tyler. I was finna put that "th" in there, Tyler.
Yeah. No, that's fine. No, I met her when I was living in Daegu there. She was a professor at the university.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it wasn't like no local. Like most of most of these folks come back from up north. I know up north they bring them juicy girls home. I know you done heard of them.
I have no. I was not. I was definitely not up north. No, I was. She's an expat. She's from South Africa, so she was working at the university there. And I mean, I was out every. Like I said, experiences may vary. I was out almost every night partying all night while I was there as well. So
That was dope. That's one thing I do love miss about Korea. It was something going on every night. It was a club gonna be open every night. Every
every night.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. As long as you didn't get caught in there before curfew or after curfew, you was good. Just stay in the club till about 5, 6 in the morning. Walk right back on base.
I don't
That's
think
right.
Nick had to worry about curfew, did you, Nick?
Nope.
I had pretty long hair. So I definitely the only thing that would give us away is I definitely had the build of a soldier. Like I was big, lot of muscle. So yeah, the long hair, I wouldn't get a first look, but I might get a second look because I definitely had the build of somebody who shouldn't be there. Like all the teachers I dwarfed all the teachers compared to me in size, right? So you'd stand out. So the courtesy patrol would give you a second look, but I mean, I got out of it by not speaking English before, and I having excuses. I just would break into some other language or something like that, or I would just go to the karaoke bars at 1 a.m. and wait till 5 a.m. until curfew was up.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that was usually on the weekends, but there's always a way to, but also if you don't hang out where there's Americans, there's no chance of you getting in trouble as well. So I never would hang out with Americans when I left base. So, and if I ever wandered onto, I had a plan on how to not get in trouble. So,
Bingo. I could dig that, man.
yeah.
What when you finished everything? What took you to Wisconsin? What made both of y'all get up and just move to Wisconsin, man?
I got offered a job by a tech company that was doing a startup initiative here in Wisconsin. It turned out to be extremely fake. The job that I got, I was a project manager, but there were no projects to manage. So they had a lot more aspirations in what they wanted to do here in Wisconsin. But for the department that I was hired to work for, none of those projects ever came through. So I didn't have a job really. So for 18 months and one day, I was pretty depressed that I went from, huge responsibility to nothing and no direction, no motivation, no purpose. So it was kind of depressing. Yeah. So it was a good offer and good back home. I mean, I was close to my family again, but ideally, you feel panicked when you get out of the military and you got to grab at whatever you can right away.
Yeah.
Turned out to be the wrong decision, but I'm really enjoying what I'm doing now. I just got to make more money at it. So maybe it'll all work out in the end. Maybe it won't. I don't know. But means to an end.
I know certain vets have a vice they utilize throughout the day, whether it be a pet, they working on cars or something. Like, what did you do in your daily life? Like, you got some bulldogs, don't you?
I got my Frenchies, yeah. I got my French bulldogs, but I work out. Like I work out too. So I couldn't jump out of planes anymore, right? I couldn't be tactical. That's pretty much over for me. I avoid all situations where I would get any more concussions. But so that pushed me more on the health and fitness side. I'm one of the strongest, fittest retired Green Berets in the world, like hands down. I don't guarantee most things, but that avenue, as far as against my peers that are retired, I'm one of the strongest, fittest ones there is. So I lean into that heavily. I replaced alcohol with the gym, for lack of a better route, but it's another addiction.
Yeah, I seen the whole tour you went on Instagram where you're squatting everywhere in front of signs. That was cool, man. I really liked following your journey.
I had a lot of fun. I thought it was going to be dumb, and then I got to the like 2 days in, and I thought it was kind of fun. So I just said, let's see how much fun we can have with this. It was a lot of fun. I raised some money for a good charity, and hopefully they can do some good with that. And I don't know. My one buddy messaged me that he's going to submit it to Guinness as a world record. We'll see if anything comes of that. So, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so that kind of what inspired you to join the ambassador for the Green Beret Foundation?
Oh, well, I got put out in the military after group after 3 years, right? I was only got to be in group for 3-4 years. So just wanting to continue to serve. And that's more morphed into lately is I kind of consider myself a special operations ambassador. I'll work with anybody that wants to work with me as long as we're trying to do the right thing for the right reasons. So, but I don't know, I had some friends that were working there and they've been very nice to me. And I just want to help out. I have a lot of gas left in the tank when it comes to service. So I just want to continue that. That's kind of with what I'm doing now. I mean, from talking to guys that want to get into special operations or want to get into the military or even want to get into the gym or anything like that. So there's not a lot you can ask from somebody that did 30 years in the military, but somebody that wanted to do 30 years and only got to do 8, well, you can ask a lot of that person. And so that's what I ask of myself, to continue looking for a win, looking to serve, looking to help out. So, yeah.
That's awesome, man. It definitely shows a lot of good character. And then that kind of led you. You got your podcast, the Lesser Known Operators. What inspired you to do that?
So the Hurricane Helene went through North Carolina in September 27th, 2014. So I got a call the first weekend of October from a friend of mine, and he said, "Hey, I got a job for you down in North Carolina. Are you busy?" And I had did not have a job. I had just actually lost my job a few months prior. Turns out if you get sober and you don't like your job, I get a little bit mouthy when I don't like what I'm doing. So I kind of told the people how I felt about them, and they let me go. So I was kind of sitting around like, what am I going to do? And so I hopped in the truck, packed up all my stuff, and drove down to North Carolina, and worked 53 days down there for the North Carolina Emergency Management, doing some facilities management at a site in Hickory, North Carolina. And it wasn't exactly what I thought I was going to be doing, like working in the zone and, helping people dig out or things like that. But I was more managing a group of people at a site and keeping things in order, which was fine. I had a good time doing it. While I was there, I got to meet a guy named Charlie Williams, old 5th Special Forces Group guy. And everybody knows Charlie in North Carolina. And he introduced me to some other people. And one of the guys was Robert Toombs. He runs the Mountain Readiness Expo in Harmony, North Carolina. And he's got a show he does every Monday. And he was going to have Charlie on, and then Charlie had to go out of town for something, right? So he said, "Nick, it's Veterans Day. You want to do the podcast?" And it's after work we're in this old community college in Hickory, North Carolina, right? And we just worked a 12-hour shift, and I checked on the night shift guys and everything like that. And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it right now. Let's go." So we hopped on and just recorded. We didn't even record. I think we did it live. And I got done with that. And then I went back to my room, got my stuff ready to go to sleep. I said, I've always wanted to do a podcast. Since 2016 or 2017, I had the idea and I just never went after it. And after I recorded with him, I said, I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to start my own thing. So I finished up in North Carolina. I kept thinking of the idea. And then when I got back home, we got through the holidays and January, I sat up and I said, I got out of bed and I said, I'm going to start a podcast today and a social media brand. And that was basically January 1st. And now it's almost 11 months in, and the Instagram's doing pretty okay. The show, episode 99, comes out tomorrow morning.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we'll do just over 100 episodes this year. I slowed down here in the last quarter of the year with the road trip and then some other trips and things like that. But I'm just a one-man show, man. I run the podcast. I run the social media, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, X. I do all the fitness stuff, whatever that looks like. And then I work with some National Guard Special Forces companies or detachments and help them with content as well. And I really am enjoying what I'm doing.
Man, you're a one-man wrecking crew.
Bingo.
Trying to be. I wish I was a little better. I wish I was a little better businessman, but I hopefully I can outwork that problem.
Absolutely. Hey, repetition is the father of learning, man. You'll get it.
Bingo.
I do a lot of reps, yeah.
What kind of guests do you try to get on your show? Do you have a dynamic of guests that you want, or you just like to bring on operators, special operators? What do you like to kind of guess?
So lesser known operators, right? Now the term operator has been this point of contention in the community, but only in our community is like a negative thing. So I say I'm the reverse flex, right? I didn't get to do any of the cool stuff. I never went to war. I never deployed. People think you hear the term Green Beret and you did all these badass things. I didn't do any badass things, right? I did some cool stuff, but I didn't do anything that you would see in a movie or anybody would write home about. And there's a lot of people like that in special operations that have some really cool stories and you've never heard of them. So anybody that was in special operations or special operations adjacent, or that is operating at a high level in the field that they're in. So one that stands out that wasn't an operator is my friend Julianne Jackson. She's the first female Ranger instructor at Ranger School down at 6th RTB. So I had her on the show. I had a friend of mine's wife on. She was a Ranger qualified officer in the 82nd Airborne. Another guy that wasn't in the operator, but he hangs out with a lot of us, Anthony Autry, is a prisoner who did federal time in federal penitentiary. And he just has a great story because he's kind of the opposite of what your life could have been like, but he's turned himself around and I think he's a really good example. But for the most part, as long as you served in a special operations role, you can come on the show. And I make exceptions all the time because I hate to tell people no. So
you one of your biggest things now is staying fit. You like to be fit. What kind of take us? What's kind of like a daily routine for you?
Ideal daily routine?
Yeah, like you wake up. Do you do cardio in the morning? Do you lift? What's a daily activity
Regiment you got.
Yeah.
So I'll take you through the ideal week currently.
Yeah.
And this doesn't really work for everybody, but it's tailor fit to me because I'm to the point where I can do it. So no days off right now. It's so you'll have strength. So let's just say the first day of the week is Monday, right? So Monday we'll do a strength day. So if I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna go right to the gym, lift. And I'm not doing as crazy a workout as you would think. Probably 6 to 8 total sets, not 6 to 8 exercises, 6 to 8 sets total. And then I leave the gym. I come home, I eat, and then I'll go back to the gym and do a recovery swim. I'll go to the pool and swim again. So I've now come home, eaten, and I'll go back and I'll swim just to loosen up and still get some cardio in. That takes about 45 minutes, and then I drive back home. Throughout the day, I'm eating 250 grams of protein. That's the only thing that I track. For me, that's the only thing I have to track. I don't have to track calories, sugar, carbs, anything else. All I chase is protein because all I want to do is get stronger. And there is nothing that I can do to gain, to change. So a lot of the people that they follow a meal plan or anything like that, I only eat I'll let you guys in on the secret if you won't tell anybody. I also only eat cows named Carl. I don't know if that's, I started doing it about 2 years ago, and it's worked really well for me. So I don't know if that'll help you guys out at all, but that's it. So that's Monday. Tuesday is a cardio day. So I'll get up, go to the gym, and I'll swim for a cardio workout. So maybe 1,000 meters, either to warm up or we'll do some sprints. Then I'll go upstairs and get on the treadmill, and then I'll do some sort of short running workout on the treadmill. So I'm training to run 1 mile as fast as I can. I'm training to run a 5-minute mile again at my size. And I weigh 240 pounds. And I'm 5'11". So that's Tuesday. Wednesday, we've got a strength day again. So I bounce in between focusing on bench, squat, and deadlift. So if I did bench on Monday, I'll do some leg work on Wednesday, but with another exercise. But I'm not doing a lot. So Wednesday I'm lifting again, and then in the afternoon I'm doing a recovery swim. But none of these workouts are anything where you get so sore you can't sit down on the toilet, right? Or you can't pick stuff up. I'm lifting very heavy, but I'm not breaking myself down. So I get through Wednesday. Thursday I'm back on the swim and then cardio again. It's a very hard workout, but it's not very long. Everything I can recover from. Friday, strength again, swim. So that just repeats on the cycle right now. And if I get to the point where I need a rest day, then I just take a rest day. But I'm training to run a 5-minute mile again, and I've hit everything else. The goals for this year was a 405-pound bench. I hit that in May, I think. And then the other goal was a 500-pound squat. I hit that 4 months ago. And then the other one was a 585 deadlift, and I hit that 3 weeks ago, or 3 or 4 weeks ago, I think. So I hit everything I want. The only thing left is a 5-minute mile, which is exceedingly difficult to do at my size.
So you don't really focus on like the bro split. You're kind of doing the big three, like.
But I'm training for a specific thing that I want to do. So I can, if I want to move towards running, right, I would just focus less on strength and more running on distance. I don't, the split I have is custom made to me, right? I know exactly how hard I can push myself and how much I can recover from. And it's like this monitored overload workout that I'm doing. I'm going to the point where I'm still getting a good workout, but I'm not pushing the point where I can't recover. And so it's just this constant cycle. And that's where the swimming comes in. I can't run 2 to 5 miles every other day and recover from that, but I can swim every day and not have any pain. Like, no, my hip doesn't hurt, my knees don't hurt, my shoulders don't hurt. But if I were to go run every other day, all that would hurt. So I'm pushing my cardio as much as I can without hurting my joints and things like that. So
yes, it's really low impact. Yeah,
I love it. It's great. I just got out of the pool before I came down here. So
I love it.
I'm really enjoying my workout and my eating routine, but it's for a specific thing, and it's all just to show off on Instagram, really.
It's crazy you say that. I used to be 305, and I used to warm up with 415. I joined when I was in Afghanistan. I was at Spin Bowl Day, and we had the 1,000-pound club. My deadlift was like 600 pounds. My squat was 575, and I was already at 1,000 pounds. I did that for 2 years. I was there, and then I ended up getting sick, and I lost a lot of weight. Diabetes and cancer kind of dropped me down. But June the 9th, you should really come with us. We going to LA, and we're gonna go to Iron Addicts Gym. We're going to Iron Addicts Gym with CT Fletcher. Like he invited us out there. So I've been on my little regiment now. Like I run a lot. Like I run a lot. I got a award at Fort Hood. I was 285 and I ran 2 miles in 11 minutes and 2 seconds. And like
Phew.
I run pretty much every other day. Like in the group chat, all the Swaggy Vets in, man, I text them picture and I did 8 miles in 43 minutes like a week ago. Like I live in Atlanta and I ran. I just got up and I was like, man, you know what? Let me see if I can do it. I did it. I started to call an Uber back to the house. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I was I was close, but hey, them knees, man. Hey, them knees start giving me problems, man. So I guess just one of the questions right there, like what lessons from the military, man, you still like carry with daily? And that I guess PT. Like you pretty much answered that. It's like PT still, man.
You know, I don't have the stories. I don't have the deployments. I don't have all this cool stuff. I don't really tell my story too well either. But what I do have the ability to do is if I stand in front of you and I trade off of the fact that I introduced myself as a Green Beret, that I was in Special Forces, that I use that as a stepping stone, I leave no doubt that I at least look the part. I might not have all of the accolades or anything like that, but you know when you look at me that I take at least my fitness and my health seriously. And that's all I can introduce myself with. And that's what I do.
Oh man, you gotta think different than them. Because once you say to me, when you say Green Beret, it goes to that part, but it also like that's some shit I don't want to go through the training, bro. You know, a lot of regular armies ain't trying. You hear Green Beret or Ranger or Ops Operator, they not trying to do that. So that in itself is a much respectable feat, man. Because that's respect. Because nobody gets up and be like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna be a special. I'm gonna go SF today. Nah. One, they PT scores ain't up to par. Two, they lazy. They not disciplined. So that's a feat in its own, man. So that's another salute because we hear that. Now civilians here, they automatically go to movie and thank you Rambo as soon as you say Green Beret and Ranger. Oh, he killed everybody. They're crazy. They jump out of planes and fly and all kind of stuff. But nah, man, don't shoot yourself in the foot, man. That's still a feat that a lot of people can't hold, man.
No, it's not. It's not that. It's that, as I said, I introduced myself as that's what I used to do. Right? People will judge you on how you look. So if I'm gonna say that I was this, I better represent well. I'm still an ambassador for Special Forces, right? Kids are gonna meet me and they're gonna develop their entire view of a Green Beret, possibly off of one interaction with me. So if I don't have the cool stories, but at least if I can look the part and look professional, act professional, talk professional, then they might have a good view of Special Forces going forward. They might look into it as a career in the future. And if that's the way that I can tell that story, then that's how I do it. So at least I can look the part, you know. The first rule is always look cool, you know.
Bingo.
I said that earlier because I went to selection back in 2005. I was actually there for Thanksgiving. I couldn't get that land nav down, man. I made it through, team week, did the trek, got back. I just didn't get selected. So, but one of the tacks was like, first rule is look cool. Second rule, don't get lost. But if you get lost, look cool being lost.
Look cool doing it. I break that down. I break that down for me. There's a lot you can throw under. It's a funny thing that we say, always look cool. But what can you put under the umbrella of always looking cool? Well, you can look squared away. You can know how to do your job. You can know your subordinate and your boss's job as well. If you don't know the answer, you'll act professional and you'll get the answer for somebody. If you look like you're squared away, people will assume you're squared away. And looking cool is part of that. If you look like a soldier and you stand up straight and you speak well, then that's going to set you apart from your peers. So I love that phrase, always look cool. When the first Green Berets I ever met, I was like, man, those guys look so cool. Even I see dudes now, young guys coming through, and I just go, man, that was, it was cool then. I'm retired. It's still cool now. Seeing the guys, running around. They got their Green Berets on and their team. Because I get to go hang out with them at training and things like that. And I just see an ODA, and I'm like, man, those dudes are cool, And so I love it. I love being around the community, being around soldiers, being able to mentor people, and it's great.
This was up. Like, well, what advice would you give somebody transition out the military? Like, what's the first thing that you would tell them to do?
Community. Oh my God. I separated myself from my network, from my community, and the faster you can either create your own team or become part of somebody else's team, the better, the sooner you'll be okay. You're not going to be okay right away. It's very hard to describe to somebody getting out what's going to happen to them when they get out, even if they're ready to do it. But the faster you can get back on a team or create your own, the faster you'll recover from it. So as soon as I started lesser known operators, it was on the uptick. Like I went from having 7 Green Berets in my phone to now I have hundreds of Green Berets in my phone, and I can get a hold of anybody at any time in 15 minutes, anybody that I want to now. And that was just from creating my own network and my own team and my own family. So it's that's the most important thing, because you leave this unit you're legally obligated to be a part of. You have to show up every day or you're going to get arrested, right? Well, that goes away. All those stupid rules go away, but you say they're stupid, but man, they were keeping you with your friends, and now you have no boss telling you what to do. That's the biggest thing and especially with the guys that I interview, they all seem to start pulling their shit back together when they create their own team or they join somebody else's.
That's very true. That's very true. And like, I think I spoke about that in my interview as well, man. Like, just team up. Like, you could do it by yourself, but when you got a team, you can accomplish everything that y'all set out. Because if you lacking in something, I can put it up. So that's what's up, man. Like, even with your podcast, like, what's the future hold for your podcast, man? Where you want to take it, bro?
I don't know if the podcast is the way forward right now. It's always going to be there, and it gets me to meet. So the best part is, and I noticed this right away, is how often do you get to have a 3-hour conversation with someone you're already friends with, let alone a new friend? So all these people I have on, I get to have these long conversations and get to know them. And that way, when they go in my phone, that's somebody I have a lot of information on that person for the network, right? Oh man, this person can help this person out. And I can link these people up. I don't know the show. I don't know where the show is going to go. It's going to be there. The social media might take, more priority, or the fitness and the coaching and stuff like that might take more. I would like it to get to a point where I can just have an experience where I fly people out. We do an episode and we work out and things like that. But if that doesn't happen, then that's fine too. It's all going to work together. Things will go up and things will go down. I just want it to all be fulfilling and going forward and helping people, because like I said, I have a lot of gas left in the tank when it comes to still being an NCO, still being a Green Beret. And I put up a post the other night, and I settled on the fact of I want to be a better Green Beret in retirement than I was in uniform. And that's what I want to do. I want to be I want to become who I could have been in the military. I mean, I wanted to be a sergeant major. I wanted to have my own company and have my own ODA and stuff like that. And I didn't get to do it, but now I can. I have different options for doing that. And however it takes me there, to the Instagram or content creation of the podcast. But I just want to do the right thing the right way, and hopefully help some people along the way. Only help people along the way.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you this. So I know with me getting out, starting this podcast has definitely helped tremendously. Having conversations like amazing individuals like yourself, talking about transitioning, talking about the things that we do. How has this helped your mental when it comes to being out?
So I got out for post-concussive syndrome, right? Traumatic brain injury. I can't get hit in the head anymore. So interviews. One goal with the show is I want to be so good at speaking and tapping into my thoughts that I can just give a keynote address on no notice about any topic. And that helps me with that, right? I've gotten so much better at speaking and stringing my thoughts together. So I can just sit down and go on anybody's show and talk about anything. So that's one thing. And then the biggest thing that I've pulled is perspective. I get to get everybody's story for a good amount of time, and I get to pull out the most wisdom out of their story as I can and actually learn something about their lives and what they've gone through. So I've gained perspective and empathy for what other people go through, not just in special forces, but Rangers or any other special operations branch, regular Army, it doesn't matter. I get to learn so much about things I didn't know, and then that helps me along the way. So hopefully that continues.
Man, that's awesome, Nick. Thank you for that, brother.
Like, how do you define success now and success in the military? Like, what's the difference? How you define how you feel what is successful now?
Success was, I don't even know if I have my beret down here. That was it. That was the only thing I wanted to success in the military was I wanted to be a Green Beret. I picked the hardest thing I could think of when I was a private, and I went and did it. And I was where I wanted to be. I was where I needed to be. That was the unit I needed to be in. And I just wanted to have a career there. It didn't work out. Success now, I just want to be fulfilled, do good, whatever that looks like. Do good things the right way. And we'll see what that turns out as. But I have nothing left to accomplish. I have nothing left to prove to anyone. And I don't even have anything left to prove to myself. I'm very content in the things that I've accomplished. And now I equate it to this. I never, ever thought I would back squat 500 pounds ever, and then when I did, I racked the weight and I, in my head, I went, man, I don't know. I didn't know you could feel this way about yourself. I felt like I was strong. I felt like I had gotten to the pinnacle of where I could be as a strength athlete, right? And if I can help people feel like that in any avenue of their life, whether it be, family or relationships or just even talking to them, if I can make them feel that way, then that would be success for me. But I don't know how to get there. It's just continue doing what I'm doing. And if things work out, they work out. But as kind of nonchalant as it sounds, I have nothing left to succeed at. I just want to work towards fulfillment and being content.
Yeah. Where can people find you, Nick?
All platforms, lesser known operators. And I'm on Instagram. Instagram's the main effort. We got Facebook. We have a podcast that it was 3 times a week. I'm trying to get back into a rhythm now, coming off the road. We'll get one episode 99 comes out November 19th, and streaming on all major platforms. But anywhere you look, lesser known operators. And I'm your host. I'm the host, Nicholas Allen.
Bingo.
Yeah, if you want to catch a good show, y'all go check out Lesser Known Operators. A great show. Also, I'm gonna put the link down. They can donate to a cause, right? That you're advocating for.
Yeah, well, for the road trip that I was on, I was Project Recon, which Project Recon is a nonprofit that is getting FDA authorized stem cells to special operations veterans, and increasing awareness on what stem cells do and that they're not they're not taboo like they used to be. There is some, FDA. So the FDA has now authorized them for use throughout the country, and now Project Recon is trying to get these cures, and they use the word cures, but a fix to the things that ails people into the hands of special operations veterans. So I work with them. I work with Green Beret Foundation, but as I said, I will also work with anybody that wants to work with me. I think is doing the right thing the right way.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Man, we appreciate you so much for coming on the show, man. We've learned a lot. Everything you're advocating for and helping veterans, even active duty. You're doing a great thing for a good cause, and we appreciate you coming on and sharing your story.
Oh, absolutely. I
Definitely.
appreciate you guys having me on. I as I said, I want to be able to just sit down and speak with anybody about anything at any time. And I got to be able to back that up. That's why I was joking with you last night. It's like, let's record right now. I was busy, but I'm all about it. And if people say, "Oh, I just want to help one person," fuck yeah, let's do that. Let's help 100 people. Let's help 1,000 people. You know, uh, or if you can be a comic relief in somebody's day to make them smile or make them think about something or be in a respectful sort of way, then I'm all about that too. So I appreciate you guys.
Absolutely.
Man, no
You got
problem.
anything for me, Chris?
No, man, I appreciate, like you said, coming on, man. Like you, just like Toy Story, man. You got a friend in me, man. So I'm definitely got to come to Wisconsin and check you out, man. I'm a driver, so I definitely got to pull up on you, man.
All right, I'll be here.
Well, thanks again, Nick. Hey, thank y'all for tuning in. Until the next time, stay swaggy, stay strong, y'all. Peace.
Peace.